Hey everybody, this is not really a guitar video, and it's been forever since I posted one. I don't know if I'll publish this as an episode or what, but today or tonight, those are my dogs that just decided to run out for some reason. Tonight I'm going to fix my Portico preamp, my Rupert Neve Designs Portico preamp. I've had it since like the initial issue. When they put these on the market, I think I bought like a, what do you call it? It wasn't a pre-order, but it was like special pricing just to introduce them. And so I've had it a really long time. I think it was somewhere between 2006 and 2010. Somewhere in the early 2010s, I'm thinking 2012 or 13, it had an issue, and I sent it to Neve, and they repaired it and sent it back. And the issue was that basically I turned on my studio one day, and that device did not power up. Cool it, Derby. And when I unplugged it and plugged it back in, it powered up, but some weird stuff happened with the meters where they kind of would spike. And looking back on the last year with this preamp, I've had a couple of sessions that had little anomalies in them, and I just equated it to user error, but I'm starting to wonder if this DC to DC, the thing I'm going to repair, and it's the same thing that was wrong with it last time, was the DC to DC power converter, which basically allows it to use any DC voltage from like 9 to 18 or 19 volts or something like that, and it puts it at 17.5 volts or something, whatever the rating is. It's unimportant. But that means it can be used internationally, and also it isolates the mains power from the grounding of the audio signal path, as far as I understand. So what has happened, when that failed, I contacted Rupert Neve Designs, and they I described the problem to them, and they said it's the DC to DC power converter, which is a Motien, M-O-T-I-E-N transformer. Motien is a brand name. So rather than send it there and possibly wait for weeks or months to get it back, I asked them if they could send me the part, and I would do it myself. And I've been super busy with sessions, and I have the evening off when I should be learning some tunes for something, but I'm going to try and fix this in about 20 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. I've already disassembled the unit, and you can see that in this camera here that is going to become more well lit in just a second. Oh, now it's all blown out. Why is that? It wasn't like that. Oh, totally blown out. Okay, hang on, y'all. One more. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still not great. And it's shaking. This thing's on an arm, hanging out over the deal. So the part we're going to replace is this right here. I've been given instructions on how to remove it. What we're going to do first is fire up the iron and build what they sent me was this transformer here. See if it'll focus on that. Yeah. And it's got 5 pins on the back. They coordinate with this little board that they sent. And I have to put these pins on that board. And then I'm going to remove the same part from the unit. Now the dogs are going to join me. I'm sure that is really going to goof things up. I'm going to pour some water in my soldering iron sponge. Oh, I already know I made a mistake. Well, I'm going to build this board first. I'm going to have to go get my solder sucker. So the board goes in this orientation. So the Rupert Neve design graphic is going to be facing the transformers on the board when it's in place. So first I'm going to take this 3-pin piece, and I'm going to put it in place in the proper orientation, which is the surface mount side is where the screen printing is. And I'm going to use this little paper clip to hold it in place so I can solder these pins. Let's see. The pins there by that clip. See if you can see that on my hand. I'm new to this thing here. I'll zoom this in and not a spectacular work shot, but I'll make it work. I'll make it go. It would be nicer if it was more zoomed in, but I think that's what I'm going to get. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'm going to set the board, the preamp aside for now. Working on my old TV tray that I've had for more than 20 years. So I'm just going to heat this part up here and install the pieces. Wow. Somewhere in here is the end of the... There we go. So we'll see how it goes. I'm a lefty. Got my board, my soldering iron on the left-hand side. And, oh, lovely. All right, let's see how this goes. This lighting is terrible now with this big bright-ass work light. Go like that. It's just a glow on my face. It's probably, I'm all overexposed. Who cares? I'm just heating up the part and the through-hole solder. Oh, that is a drag. One reason I want to hold this in place is because it's really got to be, everything's got to line up, you know. Let's see how this... I'm going to try and get a little more solder on that. Hopefully the clip won't, you know. And somebody can criticize my solder technique. I just try to heat up the part and flow some solder in there. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. But I'm also sure that it's going to work perfectly when it's done. Let's check out this part here. Oh, you know what? I have some glasses that will help this greatly. Oh, man. We're so dirty. All right. Oh, yeah. That looks like a healthy connection. I'll do the next one. I hope this is good content. Oh, cheese whiz. It's on there pretty good. I think I can safely solder all these points. So I'm heating the parts. Probably get a little solder on the iron to better transfer some heat. There we go. Just flowing it in. Get it to go all the way through. Since this is the power delivery system, I do want a good connection. I don't know where the phantom power gets generated in this system, but this board will power all of it. This one might be a little tricky. Ow! Ooh, that was warm. Probably should have let it cool down, huh? My dog's complaining at somebody out there. I know I haven't made a guitar video in about a year. I think about it all the time. I make a lot of other videos for a lot of things, but they're not necessarily YouTube content. And let's see if we can get this one off. So I still do work on stuff. I have gotten a second camera since I was making guitar videos. You'd think I would make more guitar videos, but it just hasn't worked out that way. A lot of what drove my guitar content was what I was doing with my students at the time. And one of the outcomes of the COVID-19 decade is that my studio world has become more financed by recording projects than guitar instruction. And so what I'm going to do now is solder on this Motine piece here. If you want to try and source this yourself, let's see if I can get that nice and close. Ooh, it's overexposed. There you go. Maybe you can see that part number. I'll read it to you. I don't know what orientation. Oh, God. Okay. I may have to act on the dog situation. They're normally not this noisy. This is a V71 hyphen, so Victor 7 hyphen 1218, D as in Delta 15, and there's a number 2104 below that, and the voltage in is 9 to 18 volts. The voltage out is 18 volts. So I guess it's an 18 volt DC thing, I guess, at 416 milliamps. And so these two pins here are the voltage in. These two pins here, these three pins here are the voltage out. And it's negative, common, and positive. So we're going to put this together. And I do believe that you have to snip off these ends that will be protruding in order to get it to fit in the heat sink. So I'll do that. This will be a little easier to solder. I think my tip on this iron might be a little long in the tooth. It's so much easier to solder a new part on a new board than it is to solder a new part to replace an old part that is no longer functioning correctly. So before the dogs came in and barked and did their stuff, I was talking about guitar videos and being driven by student content, and I've just been doing more recording work, and there's already a ton of recording channels on the internet, and I don't want to be a recording channel. I mean, I like the topic. I just don't think I have anything to offer. I have some opinions, but I don't want to be a guy that yells at a camera. I don't think I would yell, but there's some guy from Florida who's has strong opinions about Avid and Universal Audio, and he's been doing it a long time. I've been doing it a long time. I have opinions about it, but I really don't care. If I had the gumption to do a studio tour, so this is the assembled part, huh? I'm not sure how great that is. There's a ton of solder on there. Hopefully I can nip those off without too much trouble. I'm going to wait to do that until I'm ready to install this in the board. Now we're going to remove the old part. Okay, so here we are, and I had to take the bottom panel off. The 4 screws that hold the bottom panel on, I replaced them back in the frame. Even though I've got the rest of the screws on a magnet, they're a little different looking, and I just didn't want to lose track of them. What else can I tell you about it? Well, I can tell you that it's got a bunch of full-size components on it, and they're all through hole and not surface mount. So that's kind of cool. But this DC to DC power converter is a marginal spec piece of gear, because this is the second one in the lifetime of me owning it. So let me see if I can find my cutters. I probably should have gotten these first. All right. So the instructions given to me is I am to cut these right at, I'll use this screwdriver as a pointer, right at the elbow, the bend on those pins, as close to the black plastic part as possible, so I have a good chunk of material to hold on to with my pliers when I'm trying to desolder them, which is really the wild card thing, man. Desoldering components from boards is one of my least favorite things to do. All right, here we go. It just seems like I always have problems, It would be nice to have a really jamming desoldering tool. Hopefully, I know my hands are in the way, but I'm okay. That seems to have freed up that side. And I'm using these end cutters that have a very sharp point to get in there. There might even be a better one, but I love these things. I got these at Marvac Dow in Pasadena, California. On one of my first visits there, they were having some kind of sale. I found out later that Marvac Dow is where Eddie Van Halen, here's the old part, purchased his, and it's got some heatsink grease on there, but it's not very good. They told me I wouldn't necessarily need to add heatsink grease, but I'm sort of wondering if I should. This looks like the exact same part number. Oh no, well, there's a different number on it. Let's see if I can wipe this off. So this has a number 1316, but it does have the 1218 Delta 15 after V7. All the specs are the same. I don't know if 1316 is a lot number or some other designator. The new part looks like so. Wow, that's bent. Must have happened in shipping. Hopefully that will not line up with it won't take too much difficulty to line up. So there's our new part. This is one for the trash. Sorry, when I said there's our new part, get it in the shot right there. The next trick is going to be to remove the pins, and I got to get my desolderer. This is going to make my dogs think I'm going somewhere. Well, let's get the pins out. I'll need this desoldering tool when it's time to clean the holes. Okay. So let's take a look at the bottom. These guys right here. Let's see. I'm going to try. See what happens if I heat these parts from the top. I feel like my angle of attack here is one of my favorite things to do is burn up other components while I'm working on something. You get focused on the tip of the soldering iron and forget the rest of the thing is also quite warm. Okay, Number 1. Number 2. I love when my knuckle hits a nice hot, freshly removed part. Number 3. That was fairly easy. That means the board's getting warm. Okay, this next one is in next to some stuff that I don't think I want to get too warm. So is that still on the camera? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I definitely got to be able to get those holes cleaned out. My hand's probably in the way. Come on, baby. I don't want to melt that capacitor or anything. There we go. All right, I can see that those holes are still full of solder. And one of them's clear there. Is that a piece of solder on the board that dropped off? No, that's a component. There's a trace there. Okay. So now, let me see if I can find my solder sucker. I'll definitely have to edit this video. Oh, hum. Okay, so my desoldering tool was in the third place I looked. It wasn't in the first and second places that I looked. So I guess it's not terrible. It could be worse. I wonder if this would, no, it won't. Boo. All right, so I'm gonna try and clean out these holes and prepare them for their new part. And okay, there they are. So I'm going to clean out those 3 holes right there and those 2 holes right there. Try to do that with my tool here. And the way I'm going to do that is put a little solder on the tip and try to heat this up. And then, nope. There's probably a better tool. Dang. It's not going. All right, daylight through both. Let's see if the part will dry fit. Let's see if I can hold that so that you can see. So there's 3 holes on my left, I guess. Come on. 3 holes on my left and 3 on my right. I think you can see the light of the table underneath through them, especially on the right side for the 2 holes. But okay, let's see if they will line up with the part. Okay, I can see that I need to bend these a little bit. I know it doesn't go together this way, but I can check my spacing. So I'm bending these prongs just a little bit to get them to line up with the holes a little better. I am suspicious about whether or not these are even going to fit. These seem to be larger than the old part. Are they? Oh. This I do not know. But I can see there's still a little bit of solder in those things. I have another idea. This may or may not be a good idea, but I'm going to try it. I am going to use canned air to blow some of this solder out of here. I don't know if it's working, but the holes do look a little more open. I could feel tiny hot bits of solder hitting my knuckle. Okay, let's see how that fits. I am, let's see here. Probably want to scrape away some of that residue there. Well, I got to take a call. I'm going to pause this, y'all. Okay, so phone call completed. I believe we left off with some scattered bits of, oh no, oh, okay. Scattered bits of solder where I blew through with some canned air. So I'm going to see if I can use this probe tool to kind of like, boo. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll heat this up and see if I can suck up that debris, because I do not want to short anything out by blowing. That I don't like. There's a diode here that looks like it's got a little excess material on it, but I can't. Yeah, it was a little bit of extra, but it just rubbed off. All right. Okay, I think we're in the safe zone there. All right, so let's see if I can dry fit this thing now. Get rid of my can of air so I don't knock it off. Oh, that's so bright and overexposed. That's a little. I can see this area is overexposed, but I do want you to see the board where I'm working. Okay, one side went in fine. Let me see if I can manipulate this with my pliers here. Boo. Feel like something just happened there. That side goes down easy. Something just moved. Let me see if it's coming through the other side. I don't feel it. All right, we're gonna try another method. The two pieces are fairly clear. Funny, the 3 holes look more open, but I guess they are not. So we're gonna try again with the canned air. Oh yeah, I could feel a little obstruction there. That might have done it. Let's see. All these cameras recording. Oh, goodness. Okay. I believe we've achieved dry fit. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So, I believe one of the flaws this thing has. Oh, before I solder this, I am going to cut these little nibs off. And since they're going to go flying, I'm going to get this preamp out of the way. I guess I probably could have cut these off before, but wouldn't it be dumb to have... you know, I've ruined it. I am going to put some heatsink grease on there, even though the tech told me that I didn't need to do that with this one. So we'll see. This heat sink that it's going on is really not the best. Maybe I'll wipe that off. This grease that's on there is fairly dried out. So, the tech told me it probably wouldn't need the grease because it's a more robust part, but I'm kind of in the better safe than sorry department. And I'm going to put some new grease on and hope this goes all right. I guess I should solder it from up top, and we'll go from there. Let's see, what can you see on this thing? Oh, it's back here. You can't see much. So I'm going to solder from up top, and looks like, I wonder if I'll invert this video because it's kind of crazy looking. We're going to see how it goes. This is why you can fix your own gear. I guess I have to make this work, right? I guess if this video's on YouTube, It probably did work. Let me make sure that those pins aren't so far out the bottom that they're holding it up. Something makes me feel like there should be just make sure it's all the way down when it's getting soldered. What do you see there? You can see that label, which is totally blown out. We'll go that way. Okay. I doubt you can see much of what I'm doing. Oh, wow. A little optical illusion. Okay, you can see that kind of flowing into the connection. I like that. I'm going to solder the I'm going to solder the bottom too. Okay. Uh-oh. No bueno. A big ball of solder there. That's not very pretty. Okay, so let me have a look at those. Well, one of them has a pretty big glob of solder on there. I'm not going to sweat that too much right now. All right, I don't know if you can see the part that I'm going to solder, but I can, and that's really important. From this angle, I'll have a little better perspective on whether or not, on how things are flowing. And it's a little tighter in this spot. I've got too much water on my sponge. That looks good. So I'm a left-handed person, and I typically will hold my iron with my left hand and feed with my right, but every now and then I'll switch it up. Oh, I was right on that diode, I think. Or not. Well, I can't tell. I don't think I got the diode. But I can't see what I'm trying to. All right. Okay, now I'm going to solder the back sides just to feel a little more confident. Maybe this was the way to do it in the first place. plenty came through that one. I'm going to suck some of that off. Same with that one. All right, cool. And then these two. Okay. I feel all right about those. Let me cut off those Okay. I think the power supply is still right there. Is it long enough? It's long enough for me to... I don't know if I'm going to get this on camera or not. Is it? Up! Up! Yes. See, this is kind of what I don't like about this thing. It's a very expensive preamp powered by a wall wart. And yet there's still a problem with the... so I'm going to... All right. Can you guys see that? Those lights are on. Let's see. I can push the silk button. It should turn blue. Let's see here. Let me turn that off. There you go. So this unit is fixed. Yay. Groovy. Okay, so here we've got these 4 screws that hold this bottom plate on. I use this little package of magnets to hold my screws when I work on things, because, I don't know, it works pretty well. I have my f-stop at 2.8, and so when I put my hand up here, it completely blurs out to see what I'm working on. All right, so where's the bottom? So there's my serial number plate. There's probably no risk in me showing that off. You can see it's kind of slid around because it got this is on top of my 1272s, which I guess let off a little heat. And the serial number slid around on the bottom because my rack leans back, I guess, something, I'm not sure. These other 4 holes, these other 4 holes in the in this plate are for some rubber feet that probably came with it, and they're probably in the box that I have stored away somewhere. So you could use this as a desktop unit. I'll be honest, I am not a fan of this half rack space form factor, but I was kind of new to buying preamps, and some of my first ones that I got for the studio were buying outboard preamps. The first ones that I got were this in a 500 rack, and then the racked up 1272s. And if you've ever seen a racked up 1272, it's a module that just would plug into some, bus part of a. Where's the rest of that stuff? I got to put the faceplate back on here. Of a Neve console, and this is a pretty weird design. You can see it's got this little tab that sticks out. Will that focus on it? Hopefully it will. That holds this on some way or another. All hell's bells, I don't remember. Is that really how that goes on there? Oh, I'm sure it does. I thought there was some kind of other screw that I removed. All right. Well, who knew this part would be interesting? This goes. Oh, I remember now. So the knobs hold the faceplate on. So I can put this together. Well, no, I'm gonna do it differently. Because the faceplate does have some indexing slots machined or cast in it. It feels like it's a cast piece. And then there's two holes in this front part that line up with the faceplate and other parts of the unit. Let's make sure that all these things are aligning. Okay, looking good so far. I believe all these screws are the same. Rupert Neve was a very practical guy. God rest his soul. So I'm gonna put this in a way that you can see what I'm doing. All right. I wonder if I'll publish this video. So I'm kind of using the screw to line up the hole because it does sort of feel like it wants to fit together a little bit differently than the holes line up, but I know this is how it goes. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna okay. No need to over torque those. There's one side. Just 6 screws hold this cover on. I did note that when I was removing the knobs on the front, that they have a little bit of a there's a little bit of an assembly to that setup. Oh, maybe these shots of me putting the screws in are not all that clear. So I'm putting the last screw in that holds the faceplate on. Okay, so there it is. All the screws are back in place. You can see I got a little scratch mark on top of that from sliding a preamp over it. What do they call that? Rack rash or something like that? Okay, now let's see if we can get these. Let me get the bag of knobs. some of these things had like a little insert sleeve. I believe it's the red ones. I'm not sure though. Oh boy. Well, I don't know if this is going to be the authoritative how to assemble a Portico preamp, but we'll see. All right, I have this feeling that these little collars go on these. Oh. Okay. And all right. Okay, that looks good. 0 and 0. All right, this is disconcerting. There's only one of those. Did one of those just fall off? Oh, this shouldn't be in that bag. This is a little bushing for a screw, rack screw. Unimportant. All right, and then I got these guys here, which okay. Ah. All right, this is turning out to be more successful and not as complicated as I imagined. When I was taking these apart, I have a feeling these little black inserts go inside. These little black inserts go inside the knob, and I don't know if they're keyed. Oh, good Lord. It does feel like they're keyed. Oh, but they're keyed. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. So these are the high and low pass filters, or the high pass filters. These are the extra little trim controls of -6 to +6 for each detent position on this. So this unit is whole again, and I'll power it up one more time. Turn the lights off so you can see it all come to life here. Let's see here. Let me zoom this out. And voila. This preamp is back to life, and I know that if I plugged it, there was no issue with the I/O, and I'm certain it's still great. I have 100% confidence in that. I would send that unit out for repair. I mean, as a repaired piece. Okay, that I saved myself some mighty bench charges. Okay, this is episode whatever. I think 28 or 29, and it was shot in 3 parts. The first part was all continuous. The second part was I had to take a break to look for my desoldering tool, and then I had to take a phone call. So this is my world. It's super cluttered right now. I have so much on my plate, it's unbelievable. I've got 3 full-length records going on, and one-offs, and I'm supposed to play guitar with somebody this weekend, and then I found out that their guitar player might not be going to Germany after all. Hopefully this will help you feel more confident about fixing your own Portico preamp if you have a problem with it. I do think it's a great unit. I think it sounds great. Compared to my other Neve type preamps, I like my MA5s probably the best. My Avitas MA5s, and then my Brent Averill 1272s are pretty jamming. What else? That's all. I'm getting ready. I borrowed a Pacifica to take the place of the Portico while it was down, and I think I'm going to replace that Pacifica that I borrowed with this one of these WA412 jobbers. I'm trying that out. I like the idea of having more API type preamps, even though I'm working on a Neve thing here. I would much rather have 24 APIs. I would not want for anything else. Okay, that's enough. You guys, good luck fixing your own Porticos. Good luck fixing your own stuff. I think that it's a great vocational pastime to fix your own gear. And you can see I'm not some kind of genius. I'm just a parts replacer. I know how this stuff works, but I couldn't engineer this thing and design it. But power supplies are about the easiest thing. I got my start building power supplies from a Radio Shack book. There you go. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.